Uncle Joe. Nuncle Joe's spelling show for May the 13th, 2010. Welcome back, Cousin Ron. Who is Candy Anderson?
Kenny Anderson.
He's the football player?
Spell your word.
Is he the football player for the Cincinnati Bengals? Kenny Anderson? Politeness. Back up, man. Politeness. Politeness.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Politeness is the conventional spelling of politeness.
How would you spell it?
The same way. You know, moving right along. No, you would drop an S off of politeness.
That's it?
That's it. Politeness. Give us a kiss.
That cheese dip is nasty. We're going to talk a couple of things. I have to tell the funniest story. No, come on. I got to tell
Go ahead, man.
the funniest story.
This is the funniest story. Go ahead.
I have lunch today.
That's funny stuff.
Isn't that hysterical? I go to lunch today with a very good friend of mine. Right? We went to law school together.
But you also had lunch yesterday, didn't you, with another buddy? Serious. Yesterday too, right?
I did.
Okay, go ahead.
She proceeds to tell me this story about a dating experience that she had, a la eharmony.com.
Right.
So, this is why I can't do the dating website. I just can't. At least not right now. If one day I do, I do. So she's talking to this guy for like 3 months. They're texting or whatever, emailing, they're talking on the telephone, they're doing their thing, right?
They have not met yet.
They have not met. Everything is kosher. He tells her, you know, he's 5'4". She says, well, I'm 5'3". She doesn't care. Most women are brutal about height, I find anyway. And thank God I'm tall. I thank God every day I'm tall because women are brutal about height. But she's like, I don't care, 5'4", I'm 5'3", that's fine.
And then he killed her.
Here's the deal. After 3 months of corresponding and talking and getting to know each other, they decide to meet for a date. That's fine. They meet at Grand Central Station or somewhere like that. He shows up.
Mr. Callahan, please call the second floor office, extension 111. Mr. Callahan, call extension 111.
True story. Go ahead.
He's 4'5".
Now, did he lie about his height?
Yes, he said he was 5'4".
And he
It gets better.
I
gets better.
I accidentally swapped the numbers.
It gets better.
5'4", Go ahead.
She sees him. She still goes on a date with him. They go to dinner.
And she put him in her pocketbook by accident.
Come on. She starts to... I made a mistake. They met at the restaurant. So she's sitting there. She starts to laugh and cry because she was so sad. Okay?
Wait, she was so sad that he was so short.
Well,
right?
She was so sad that he lied to her. And
that sounds like you're...
She hasn't dated anyone in a long time, and this is her first date in like a year, and this is what she gets. A guy that lies to her about being a little person. So she starts to cry when she's like, I guess... And so he says, oh, you're so happy to see me, you're crying tears of joy.
The end.
Then, here's another thing. He's all but practically deaf, but does not wear his hearing aid during the date. So he's reading her lips to communicate. And he's misreading them and saying all kind of strange things. And she's... At the end of the date, or when they're leaving the restaurant, he puts his hearing aid back on, and then she realizes all of this. So they walk out of the restaurant. They're walking down the street, down 42nd Street. He's got like a Scully type of hat on with like the little ball on the top or something. And from the back, she said, you can't tell how old he is. So he's walking out into the street instead of just walking on the sidewalk with her. And all these women begin to yell at my friend, hey, get your child out of the street. And my friend's like, Then, they finally get to Grand Central Station. So, she goes to say goodbye to him. And this is the amazing part, which we will discuss further. She says, in her mind, she's saying, you know what, just kiss me grab my butt, do something. Cop a feel, make me feel like it was worth it. And so she leaves in to say goodbye and give him a hug. This is what he does. He smacks her in the arm and says, like, makes a weird noise like, toodly-doo, and runs off. Runs off, and disappears.
Elven magic.
And
Tooraloo-raloo-ra.
Needless to say, she went home and canceled her eHarmony account immediately.
And shot herself.
Can you imagine? But here's the funniest part of that whole thing. The fact that in her mind, she was so, just, you know, try to cop a feel, try to kiss me goodbye, just make it somewhat worth my time. And he slapped her on the arm and clipped his heels together and running off.
This has been the Uncle Joe Spelling Show. You gave us 5.5 minutes. We gave you 4. And boy, yesterday's show was, you know, we did the making of. And you know, the next time we do the making of, I want to do like, I enjoyed working with Cousin Ron so much. The filming of this was a great adventure. And then we'll do you. And then this has been the Uncle Joe Spelling Show. Working with you today was a great adventure, and I'm just so delighted to have met you on eHarmony. I met you on eHarmony.
That's a true story. He called her.
That's great. You got to go home.
And he called her at Christmas time. He called her and said, I hope Santa gave you something good for Christmas. I'm sure you were a good girl. And she said she wanted to say to him, well, don't you know? Aren't you at his workshop now?
Oh, this has been the Uncle Joe Spelling Show.
Normally I wouldn't condone that, but he screwed her over.
Oh.
He lied to her.
You know about this.
He works for Santa.
You know about this.
Don't lie.
Uncle Joe Spelling Show. Come on. It's good to have you back. It's good. It's good. Politeness.
I'm leaving.
Elven magic.
Goodbye. Say goodbye.
Go Celtics tonight.